I'm recording. Yes. Hi. Welcome everybody to Too Tired to Cook. Someone's going to come into the kitchen. This is my kitchen. It's a real working kitchen. Everybody cooks in my family. It is like a hostel here. And today I'm making schnitzel, chicken, and also tofu. They call it katsu, I think. This is one of my to-go comfort foods that I take to my friends or family or whoever that could do with some comfort food. So let's get started. Oh, every time I make this, people ask for the recipe. So I figured it's about time to make this video. In this video, I will be showing you how to make the schnitzel with my twist. It's a pretty much no-brainer. So I'm going to give you my tips and tricks. The kids actually asked for the recipe. One of my kids is vegan. I have to introduce you. This is I thought I'd run out of polenta, and I go into the pantry, which is under my stairs, and lo and behold, this is why I love the vacuum sealer. I buy a lot and I tend to forget what I have and don't have. And instead of going to the grocery or running out, bummer, I hate running out of things, I just found just enough to make what we have to make today. The food sealer keeps it fresh, frees my freezer space, and frees me space in the fridge. All nicely packaged. What I love about Zoom, and you can see exactly what I do in my own kitchen, I recycle everything and anything that I can. So this, by the way, is about my third video because the two other ones, I found I didn't have audio. So let's hope third time is lucky. Polenta. Why polenta and not flour? Because it adds crunch. I'm trying out different formats. As somebody who watches a lot of videos, I like to see a good close-up from the top view. Here's my hand. And also, I thought you might like to see my face and my picture. There is the polenta, nice and fresh. So this is a great coating, not only for chicken or for tofu or even for shrimps and for seafood. I found my number 3 likes to have this. But this is too bland for me right now, so I'm going to add spices. I'm going to add paprika, turmeric. Turmeric and black pepper goes together. For the body to absorb the turmeric at its most optimum, black pepper should be served with the turmeric. Paprika could be either hot or regular sweet or smoked, whatever paprika you have in the house. And it adds a nice color. You can add whatever other stuff as well. I have garlic. I'm going to add garlic powder. Let's go with it. I do not measure. So here, 1 cup of polenta. I'm going to add good dosage of garlic powder. And then I said paprika. Just make sure it's always taste your paprika, because this I thought was regular. It is actually chili, which I might add a little bit. Paprika. There we go. So here we are. In this video, I'm learning. Keep the table clear. So we've added garlic. Now we're going to add some turmeric powder. When you're adding spices and flavors, do not be apologetic. Just in life, do with all your heart or not at all, not especially apologetically. So plenty of spices and color. This is sweet paprika. Oh, that was lucky. Fell down. How did that happen? Oh, you see that? Something. Oh, I see. Oh, there we go. Happens. And that's life. You see that? The top of the black pepper got too unscrewed. It's okay. I'm not bothered about the large pieces. It's life. The black pepper goes with the turmeric for the body to absorb all its fantastic benefits. I had garlic. I could add some onion flakes too. I like coriander seeds. It's very fragrant. Sometimes I'll grind this and add it too. So I have garlic and I have turmeric. I need more paprika. That's a lot of paprika. You see, I'm going for the color. I cook not only with taste, but also with color and texture. The polenta will add a nice crunch, and the color will indicate that there's lots of flavors in here. Just crushing, just make sure that it's not chili paprika unless you mean it's chili paprika. Can you see this? See how colorful is this? Beautiful, huh? Beautiful. It smells nice and warm. Spicy, like in a spice shop. You know, when you walk into a spice shop and there's all these fabulous fragrances that just comes and meets you and gives you a big warm fat hug. That's one dip. And then we're going to beat some eggs and we put the schnitzel in the egg. And then we have a second dip of only panko. I only use Panko because it's the crunchiest coating that I found. And I add something to the Panko to make it even more flavorful. So we have this dip with the paprika, garlic, turmeric, black pepper. And the second dip after the egg dip is with this Panko breadcrumbs. It can be any breadcrumbs, and it has a lot of dried herbs. You can use oregano, zatar, but not the powder, the dried leaves. Thyme is nice. I wouldn't use rosemary so much because rosemary is very pungent. It's very strong and domineering. Marjoram is nice. Basil is very nice too. So I don't do measurements, as I said. This is not going to be enough. I'm going to just top it up. It's fresh. I just made it yesterday. But this is another panko. This is how you generally buy panko. Totally white. And then I'll show you the comparison. See? Herby, plain. Herby, plain. We're going to make the white panko into a nice herby mixture. Plenty, because I know if I have extra, this goes in the fridge and just stays there until I need it to coat it for anything else. For the panko, I mean, this has already got some leftover spices, but I would usually have ratios much more logical to use as measuring. So I would have at least a third of herbs to 2/3 panko. So I'm just going to stick all my oregano here because that's all I've got. And I go according to eye and feel. I don't add salt. I'm very mindful of salt. You can add salt if you like. You can add pepper. You can add garlic. You can add onion flakes. Actually, onion flakes would be very nice. I have some too. This is not green enough. And I think I have, what's this? I'm looking for spices. See? Oh, it's a zatar. Taste if you're not sure. Why not? This is zatar. I had a story once in the desert, and I gave some zatar to some Italians, and I said that this is indigenous to the land, and I wasn't expecting them to say or recognize zatar, and they said, "Oh, oregano." So I guess to Italians, zatar and oregano are very similar, which actually, now that I think about it, it is. They're right. I'm mixing it and I can smell the zatar and the oregano. I'm looking for thyme or marjoram. I know I had basil. Basil, here we go. I'm going to add basil. Basil is also very kind of like oregano. I need lots of fabulous flavoring. No salt, guys. Too much salt and too much sugar in our foods nowadays. I like to put the salt and pepper and chili flakes on the table permanently. So anybody who wants to add to their meal, that's where they add the salt and the pepper and everything like that. So this is our 2 dips. Actually, I was thinking of putting some onion flakes because I have. I'm going to show you. My hubby was looking for granola and I thought I was out. And this is, I just found granola when I was looking for the onion flakes. Granola. I always make a lot. So this was extra. It didn't fit in the jar. So I put it in a sealed bag, vacuum the heck out of it. And now I'll just open it, snip it with scissors and put it in a jar and it's fresh and ready to go. Beautiful. Where are my onion flakes? There, wonderful. Found it. Onion flakes. I hope they're onion flakes. Let's have a look. See how fantastically useful the vacuum sealer is. Oh, wow, I can smell this. Yep, onion flakes. Let me show you. Fabulous onion flakes. Just taste this. Always taste. Oh, yeah. This goes in here. Actually, where should I put it? I'm going to put it in the panko. I could put in the first dip. Doesn't really matter. Wow. Could put the whole lot in. Oh, good. Just toss it up. Can you see this? So, why bags? Because they are so easier to put the schnitzel, wrap it around, do this, and it's all shaken, not stirred. Here are all our dips ready to go. Egg dip 2, and then I put it in I don't deep fry anymore. I put it in my air fryer, which is basically, I don't have space for an air fryer in my tiny kitchen. So what I do is I put my oven on turbo fan and on high heat, and that's my air fryer. Everybody's waiting for the schnitzel and the tofu. So let's get going. Here is the schnitzel. You can choose whatever thickness you like. My lot likes it pretty thin. So what I've done is I use a nylon bag, and I've already done this actually. I've already done this. So this is a little fat. So I'm going to pop it in here, pop that there. I have a kind of a mallet hammer. You can use whatever you have. You can use, a cup or something. I've done that. This was given to me. Just tap it out. And then I have the schnitzel all flattened up. And I like to put it in the nylon bags just to have some order, not to make a mess too much. So here I have more schnitzel that I've already hammered, but I'm going to, for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you. It's so much easier, layer in between. And also, this is from the freezer. There we go. And now we do the egg. 2 eggs. Remember, this schnitzel or katsu, no deep frying. So if you're mindful about deep frying, this is a recipe for you. Chopsticks. See, I use chopsticks for everything. Chopsticks and scissors are my 2 used and abused tools in the kitchen. I want to get the beaten egg nice and fluffy and bubbly. So here's the egg. Everybody's hungry, so I got to get going. Schnitzel, let's go. Usually you dry the schnitzel because it's moist, but because we're putting it in the first dip, which will dry the schnitzel, whatever you put in the egg, you need to dry. But because we're putting it in we have a first dip, so it's already dry, you see. Beautiful, nice and dry, so we don't need to dry it in a towel. And line it in the process that you're moving along. So this is dip 1, dip 2, dip 3. And then it goes onto a tray ready to go in the oven. This is from yesterday. Oh, I should have showed you this. This is from yesterday. So dip 1, egg dip, dip 3, and then on the tray ready for the frying pan or air dryer or oven, whatever. I use chopsticks. And now you'll see why the mixture in a bag works so well. Not too hard, right? Perfect. I like to press it a little bit more when it gets onto the tray, just to make sure it's all there. I know it's going to be amazing, this one, even better than yesterday, because I found the onion flakes. Let it drip a little bit more, get rid of the excess eggs, and then this in. So I'm hardly using my fingers, because as soon as you get sticky hands, wet hands, it gets really messy, and I'm hardly using any of my fingers. Rest of the schnitzel. And then I'll show you how I make a tofu for my son. It's funny because I thought it would be much more of a challenge having a vegan son, but you know what? It's not such a big deal. And actually, he's taught me how to eat better. I check the labels. After checking the labels in supermarkets, I realized just how chemical riddled things are that we buy, and without even noticing, because we just get lazy, right? And because of the salt and the sugars in everything, I decided there's a lot of sauces I make now, a lot of spice combos I make now, like these dips. I hope you can see this. Then you can see how much sense it is to have these in bags and not in plates. See how beautifully coated that was and how easy that was to do? There we are. This is the first coating. I want you to see how the first coating is. I mean, you just know it's going to be packed with flavor, and it's polenta. You could add a little bit of corn flour to this just to make it drier so that it would really appear the egg. It's totally up to you. I'm pretty okay with this. Because I put in so much paprika and turmeric and flavoring, I don't need that extra flour content to make sure that the egg sticks to the schnitzel. But make sure, this is important, make sure that you drip a lot of it. You see this? This is all the excess egg. And you don't want this falling into dip mixture number 2, because it just gives you clumps. Now it falls in here, you see? I'm just going to cover it. You could just toss it like this too. Another thing is to fold back the neck of the bag so you're closer and you don't have to reach so much down to get the schnitzel. And then I punch it with my fingers, my knuckles, to make sure that the panko, breadcrumbs, all those dried spices gets really inoculated into the schnitzel. And that is one good looking schnitzel. So how many more do I have? Now, if you're not going to eat all of this, which I don't think we will, neither. Oh, I'm going to send to friends. So as I was saying, some of this I'm going to give to friends. But if I wasn't, I would freeze it at this stage with breadcrumbs, layer it between baking sheets or nylon bags or whatever, so that they're not touching each other and get sticky when they freeze. And then when you come to need food, you have to put dinner on the table fast. You can just take them out, let them defrost for a couple of minutes, and then just cook them straight from frozen. Just have to make sure they're in single layers. Can you see this? Wonderful. I'm going to run out of eggs soon. It's no problem. Let it drip for a few seconds. Patience. Don't be tempted to just throw it in the egg and throw it in the second mixture. Always try to take as much egg excess off, let it hang and drip out, and then throw it in, because it just makes a mess. And what I will do, and what I want, is to keep both of these mixes clean. What do I mean by clean? Without too many sticky egg pieces inside, so that I can keep them for next time. I mean, sometimes I've found that I've forgotten a piece of schnitzel or something in the mix when I come to use it next time. Okay, I really run out of egg now. So give me an egg, will you please? Punch in the breadcrumbs so that they don't become loose from when they go to cook. And an egg, this should be enough. So I'm just going to do one egg. If I need another one, once I run out of this one, I'll break another one. You know, I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to go one egg at a time at this later stage. Yeah, good egg. And this is the last schnitzel. So straight into the polenta, herby spicy polenta. And you can add whatever kind of spices you like. Whatever you have, no need to buy any new or buy exactly what I have. And it's a good chance to use up what spices you have. So you saw that the schnitzel was too large. So I just snipped it in the middle because it was two breasts together. And now you see I'm just folding back my bag, also so you can see. And sometimes check that you don't have pockets where the egg is, because then you'll have a bare area where the panko might not stick. And the thing is, we want all the panko to stick. So I'm just throwing around the bag, tossing the sides so that it gets all shaken up, and then going in with my hands. It's basically already covered. I'm going in with my hands and punching it with my knuckles, the panko and spices into the schnitzel. I'll show you this one too. You know, when you see a schnitzel like this, it's just beautiful. You know every bite is going to be flavorful and delicious because you've got lots of green herbs. I've got the oregano, I've got the zatar, I've got underneath, I've got the paprika, the garlic, the onions, the turmeric, the black pepper. So, okay, so that's the schnitzel all done. See how fast that was? And this is my last cube of tofu. It's been in the freezer. There's a method or theory that you put in the freezer and then defreeze it, and then it becomes more textural and more meaty. I don't know. I did it because I didn't need it and it was convenient for me. I'm just squeezing it with my hands, all the juices. Ideally, you should marinate this for a couple of days in soya garlic, but I don't have the time. And this is what is good. You can see me cooking real time. We don't always remember everything, and that's fine. So how do we fix it? So I need to add flavor because I didn't marinate it. And my son reminded me that it wasn't very flavorful. I totally agree with him. So here's a trick. This is fermented tofu. Not a lot of people know about this. It's big in the Asian world, but not in the Japanese world, apparently. My Japanese friend had never heard of it. So I'm going to show you. There's different types. This is a super duper spicy, as you can see, red. Let's see this. Look how crazy. So what I'm going to do is put it here. It's super flavorful. What we usually do is just have a little cube and eat it with plain rice. I add these two sauces to add a real depth to it. So what I'm going to do, because I didn't marinate the tofu, remember, adding a quarter of this tofu slice and spreading it like a cracker. And then I'm just going to do the same as with the schnitzels. I'm going to put this in the first dip and then the egg and then the second dip. This has fallen apart, but that's okay. And I tried this yesterday. This is the first time I did this recipe because I was looking for flavor. I'm always looking for flavor. It worked. So you can do it on the other side too. Actually, I will. But I have the sauce is also good. There you go. Sauce. It's beautiful color. Now we go into the dip. Oh, I've still got my schnitzel there. I forgot. Running out of egg again. I think I'll need another egg. See, I'm using my fingers for the first time. I can feel it getting so sticky. There we go. Into just wipe it clean, my fingers. Toss the bag, use the corners, and get this tofu covered before your fingers go in. Tofu, be gentle. Don't be like the schnitzel and punch it. It's really ready to go like that. See, this is tofu, katsu. I think katsu is for the Japanese version for any kind of coated schnitzel. And talking about forgetting things, here is my other schnitzel, which I need egg. I'm going to add another egg. I'm going to put the oven on already. I'm in between. I haven't decided whether to put it on grill turbo, grill fan, or oven fan. So I put it on the oven fan on, which is like an air fryer. You know, you could also add flavoring in the egg dip if you really want to go full board. But I think I got enough right now. So here is my schnitzel that I forgot about. Stick it in there. Get my chopsticks in. I have a really good feeling that these schnitzel are going to be out of this world. I mean, I ran out of spices now. It's all in the schnitzel. So I'm using the corners of the bag to cover it. And then when I go in with my fingers, it's basically already covered. I'm hardly using my hands. Why did I do that? I just dipped it in the first one again. Never mind. Leave it like that. Look. This will be super something. Just talking to you guys. Now I'm going to dip it in the second one. I think I'm going to cook this schnitzel first. You see, this might be the next prototype. Double dip in the first mixture and the last mixture of the panko. Wow, this is pretty awesome. I'm going to put this straight on the rack. I want to taste that one. And then let's do the tofu. The tofu, yeah. I've noticed that with the fermented tofu that I spread it on, it has a good coating. And the other side where I didn't has a lighter coating. That's good to know. Oh, it's not good. Sometimes you've got to use your hands. Oh, almost put in the first one again. There we are. Let's see that. Let's see this. Fantastically crunchy tofu. Beautiful, just beautiful. I want you to see all my slices. All right, let's just use the last cube. Just going to use the last cube, spread it out. Fermented tofu, lots of different flavors. This happens to be the red one of this particular brand. I don't endorse any particular one. Whatever you can get at your Asian market. is fine. It's very fermented. It's very smelly, so just know that. And use it sparingly. Although I gave it to somebody and he just popped the whole cube into his mouth. I was literally horrified. He said, no, 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 it's okay. All right then. Some people like that. It's like curry when they eat a vindaloo curry and it's just burning. And it's no, it's okay. All right. Maybe it's a masculine thing, I don't know. So there we are. This is the leftover egg. This, as you see, is what's left. And I'm just gonna make sure I don't have anything left inside. I mean, my third son would like to put some shrimps in there and fry that. This is my second. This is my first dip, let's say. See? So I'm gonna just put this and I will pop this in the freezer or fridge. These are ready to go for next time. I don't have to make again. They will stay for quite a while. Here is our lovely schnitzel. I've got the oven on turbo, fan on the highest. Here's my tray. So here is my, I'm gonna put some of these on. I'll put the tofu on, just get it going. And some schnitzels. As I say, if my lot was not going to eat it now, then I would freeze it in layers. But because I'm taking it over to friends, I'm going to cook everything and then take it over. There's nothing like having hot schnitzel. You can throw it on salads. You can have it with rice. So many choices. Okay, this is one stage. And now, important stage, and my son forgot to do this and we couldn't understand why it wasn't so as good, is oil. Spray oil. This is just a bottle I brought and I refill myself with vegetable oil. It's sunflower oil I use, or I have another bottle of olive oil. Yeah, I have sunflower oil and olive oil and interchange. Olive oil is a bit pricey now because it wasn't a good year last year. So I've put it on a tray and underneath the tray is, I put it on a rack, sorry, and underneath the rack is a tray to catch all the bits because I don't want to have too much to clean. Straight in the oven until brown. And this will wait for the next batch. I'm not going to put oil on it until it goes onto the tray. And there you have it, guys. This recipe is a great comfort food for the kids, for the whole family, for friends, everybody. I've had dinner parties where I just want comfort food. That's it. Have this with a coleslaw and you're ready to go. Potato salad. Talking about coleslaw, here's my coleslaw. See? This is from yesterday. This is with sprouted lentils. Throw that in for extra nutrition. Carrots, red onions, cabbage, homemade mayo. I think I have a video on homemade mayo. If not, then comment me and remind me to make it. I would love to hear from you guys what other recipes you'd like to hear. And until next time, stay safe. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. Happy cooking.